Hello one and all, DC Wood here with a review for Great Bear Promotions Junior Heavyweight Cup 2015, a show that simply has to be discussed. Since attending the Hamburger Hinderer and interviewing Josh Bowden for Beartown Radio back in February 2014, I've become such a fan of Great Bear Promotions. They're an absolutely terrific independent group for Cheshire residents, wrestling fans to indulge in. They showcase some of the best independent wrestlers, not just in the UK, but all over the world, and you're always treated to some epic action and first-class family entertainment. This was the fourth show of theirs that I've seen live, and I was thrilled that it was this year's Junior Heavyweight Cup staged at Sandbach Town Hall. The tournament basically consists of 4 one-on-one elimination bouts, each with a 15-minute time limit where only winners advance. The survivors meet up in the finals, which is essentially an elimination melee, where the winner will become the holder of the prestigious Junior Heavyweight Cup. The tournament has become the flagship show for Great Bear Promotions since its debut in 2013, and the trophy itself has proven to be a major accomplishment for the likes of Damien, the first ever winner, and Tyler Bate, who won the trophy last year in Middlewich. Both have really made a name for themselves on the British independent scene in this tournament, and their prominence has only grown since their respective victories, making the whole Junior Heavyweight Cup really prestigious as a result. The 2014 tournament was a superb wrestling show. I have it on DVD, and Great Bear Promotions also have the show on YouTube for people to check out. See the link below in this video's description. And the event was so consistent, it featured so many excellent bouts, and Great Bear had the intent of surpassing last year's success with this lineup for Saturday 13th of June 2015, and on paper the card looked really promising. The doors opened at 6 p.m, and me and my friends and everyone else were welcome to the show. There was a strong turnout for Sandbach Town Hall, and I think Sandbach Town Hall is a brilliant venue for Great Bear. I really do. There's great atmosphere to be found in the place. It's suitable to host a wrestling show there due to its size and facilities, and Great Bear Promotions had done a tremendous job of hyping this year's show, so fans and families were all set for a terrific night out. Matthew Taylor was ring announcer for this night. He seems to have become the regular ring announcer for Great Bear Promotions, and this is a very good thing. He did a very good job at the last show in March. He did a great job here tonight on this night. He explained the format of the tournament for newcomers. He did the wrestlers justice with his announcing, but the thing about him the most that impressed me was that his microphone, the microphone he was using, had developed technical difficulties, and it ultimately died, and he had to perform the rest of his duties for the evening without a mic. And like a professional, Matthew just carried on with his job using just his voice. It can't have been easy, what with the crowd being so loud and enthusiastic, but Matthew was able to make his voice come across clearly for the audience's benefit, especially with reminders of how much time was remaining in bouts that were in progress. He did a great job indeed, and was a really likeable host for the whole evening. At 6:15, we were treated to a dark match to kick things off before the actual show started at past. It featured Drew Parker taking on Jet Fashion. Truth be told, there wasn't that much to say about this particular pre-show contest, as it was simply overshadowed by the whole tournament, but it did its job well. It got the audience motivated and keen for the actual show. Jet Fashion was quite the character. I didn't realise until days later that it was Great Bear veteran Ian Field in the role, and who changed his gimmick. And the new gimmick suits him. I found it very entertaining, and Drew Parker looked like he had a lot of potential as well. The result was a nice appetizer to kick things off. The Junior Heavyweight Cup itself got off to a perfect start. All the participants were summoned to the ring and introduced as follows. Australia's own Toni Storm, the only female competitor in this year's tournament. Chris Ridgeway, who made his debut for Great Bear at March's Battle Kingdom show. Dean Ormark, one of the most high-profile British wrestlers ever. Marty Skrull himself, who's very famous for being on the first season of TNA British Boot Camp on television. The ever-outstanding Chris Brooks was next, a regular for Great Bear Promotions. Martin Kirby, another huge name in Britain, famous for being one half of Project Ego with Chris Travis. Damien Dunn, again, 2013 winner of the Junior Heavyweight Cup. And finally, Tyler Bate, the 2014 winner and reigning cup holder going into the event. All the players were assembled and all had their photo taken with referee Des Robinson and the trophy itself. This was a great ceremony opening segment to kick things off, as it presented the value of what was at stake in this competition. And it was treating the Junior Heavyweight Cup as a hugely important, legitimate tournament for British wrestling. And for those in the audience who were unfamiliar with the wrestlers competing on this night, this was a perfect introduction for them. The whole thing was an excellent way to kick things off. Absolutely excellent. After that, the wrestlers cleared the ring, and we were treated to the first opening round, Dean Allmark versus 2014 champion Tyler Bate. This was simply epic and such a fundamentally sound story that was being told here. It was Babyface versus Babyface, two good guys engaging in a pure wrestling bout, with the accomplished veteran in Dean Allmark and the young Tyler Bate being determined to prove himself once again. There was tremendous sportsmanship, plenty of clean breaks, sublime mat wrestling, and tempers ultimately fraying when Tyler realised his chances were in jeopardy. The audience were really into this one, and it went over the 10-minute mark, and there were times when I thought it actually went on longer because there was so much back and forth action going on here. Every time I see Dino wrestle, I'm treated to an amazing match. The man is so charismatic, so gifted, and against Tyler, it was epic. I've seen Tyler wrestle every time I've been to a Great Bear show, and he just continues to improve. He's so nice, he's so humble, and that translates into hard work. This was the greatest Tyler Bate match I've ever seen, and he showed just what a bright future he has in British wrestling. He's got the personality, the fundamentals, and he's got class. Ultimately, with only minutes to spare before time ran out, Tyler got the pinfall victory and advanced to the finals, and the ever-gracious Dino shook Tyler's hand and raised his arm in victory to huge applause. This was a main event caliber match opening the tournament, and it really got the crowd hungry for more. Epic quality, just epic. The excellent action continued in the next eliminator, which saw Chris Ridgeway take on 2013 cup holder Damien Dunn. Both these guys had a tough act to follow, and they performed very admirably. Chris Ridgeway is an impressive prospect. He had a great match with Josh Bowden at the last Great Bear show, and here he displayed some terrific offense. There was a German suplex, an angle slam, missile dropkick, and Damien Dunn, the man has only gotten better since losing the cup last year. He's improved in the ring so much. He's grown as a character and a heel. He's wrestled in PCW, and he was involved in a terrific intergender tag match with Violent Vendetta against the Vulture Squad at Battle Kingdom. All this reflected in the ring with some stiff shots, a very nice spear, distracting the ref, a low blow, and Dunn getting the heelish win. Really nice bout that kept up the consistency. And the third qualifier was a bout that I was most keen to see. It was an intergender matchup that saw Chris Brooks take on Tony Storm. The reason why I had hopes for this particular match was because of Chris Brooks' experience in wrestling intergender matches with Nixon Newell as the Vulture Squad, and also because of Tony Storm herself. I'd heard of her reputation in Australia, and she'd been making a name for herself in the UK scene as well, particularly in Futureshock wrestling, facing Lana Austin and Danny Hunter for the women's title, and I was looking forward to seeing her wrestle live. The result here was a very character-driven matchup, which offered a great contrast from the other matches on this night. Toni has had experience in facing male wrestlers herself, and the storytelling here was very good, with Storm using her quickness, agility, and crazy antics to try and get the better of her opponent, with Brooks relying on his superior strength and technical ability to dominate. There was some good mat wrestling, a solid story being told, the crowd were into it, and there were moments when you could actually believe that Toni would beat Chris and advance to the finals. There was some great dives and an amazing head scissors into a DDT from Toni Storm. However, Chris ultimately showed why he's one of Great Bear's top stars, cinching in a Brazilian heel hook for a submission victory. The pacing in this match was a bit iffy in places, and it wasn't as great as that intergender tag from the last show, but it was still another consistent quality matchup that was ace to behold. Perfectly booked contest which made both wrestlers look credible. The audience loved it, and Chris raising Toni's arm afterwards in respect was class. More outstanding work from Chris, and I was really impressed by Toni Storm. I'd rated Tyler Bate versus Dean Allmark to be match of the night at this point. And then we saw Marty Scurll versus Martin Kirby. In the final eliminator, these two stole the show. It was epic, absolutely epic. It was right up there as one of the best ever bouts for Great Bear Promotions. It had everything: storytelling, psychology, crowd interaction, perfect pacing, back and forth action. It was a roller coaster of a match between two of the UK's absolute best, and it went right down to the wire. As the match progressed, neither Scurll or Kirby could get the decisive win, and as the 15-minute time limit was about to expire, it looked like both men would be eliminated from the tournament as a result of a draw. But then, with literally about 2 or 3 seconds left to go, Martin Kirby got the pinfall via roll-up, and the audience erupted into a standing ovation. It was an explosive conclusion to a breathtaking match, and both Marty and Martin should be proud. They were both awesome, and it could have gone the other way. Ultimately, though, it was Martin taking the final spot for what would be a 4-way final. And after that, we had an interval, had a chance to take a look at the great stall of merchandise for sale, came away with a DVD and a Great Bear Promotions t-shirt. Martin Kirby took photos with kids as part of the fan interaction. Marty Scurll was by the stall, had the chance to shake hands with him and Marty Kirby for that matter, congratulate them both individually on such a great match. They were really nice guys to speak to. And then after the interval, we had a non-tournament bout, the second intergender contest of the night between Mexico's Super Santos Senior and Great Bear regular Nixon Newell. As I said earlier, Nixon has had plenty of experience wrestling intergender matches with Vulture Squad partner Chris Brooks, and she continues to improve in the ring and as a character as well. This was her first match back from injury, and Nixon returned with great grace and skill. Like the Storm Brooks bout earlier, the audience were into this one, and the much larger Santos dominated the bout with his immense strength. Nixon countered with her agility, some aerial offense, and a Hurricane Rana. But she also ended up being surprised by a Hurricane Rana himself from Santos. This was another great story being told here, with Nixon taking tremendous punishment and showcasing her remarkable resilience. She survived all that Santos could give and ended up getting the surprising yet convincing win by countering one of Santos's moves into a Canadian destroyer, believe it or not. Again, the bout ended in sporting fashion, with Santos congratulating this Welsh Valley warrior, well deserved, and a great interlude before the tournament finals. And after the raffle was held, it was the finals of the Junior Heavyweight Cup 2015. Tyler Bate, defending champion, against Chris Brooks, Damien Dunn, and Martin Kirby. It was a fantastic 4-way, and all the participants took turns to further impress. The main event featured wild brawling between all four, wrestlers taking breathers on the outside to let the others wear each other down in the ring. There was some nice spots, nice storytelling, hard work all round, and there was some genuinely shocking eliminations. Tyler Bate was the first wrestler to be eliminated, the 2014 cup holder, out right at the first hurdle, and I had thought that he might actually retain the title this year, or at least end up being in the final two. I was really surprised by this, and then began to think that Chris Brooks, a previous top contender for the Grand Championship, might actually win. And then he got eliminated next by Damien Dunn. So two of Great Bear's top stars got eliminated in quick succession. It was genuinely shocking. I didn't see it coming. And Damien Dunn, playing to the strength of being more dangerous and driven since losing the title, now looked to be in prime position to win it once again. Dunn, ever the great heel, continued to work over Martin Kirby. There was a ref bump. Dunn gave Kirby a low blow, got hold of the Junior Heavyweight Cup and tried to use it as a weapon, but Kirby dodged it and ultimately prevailed with a famouser for the triumphant win. It was hellacious, fun-filled stuff, and the crowd rejoiced for Martin Kirby, the worthy winner, truly worthy winner of the 2015 Junior Heavyweight Cup. There's so little to fault here. Great Bear Promotions heavily hyped this show. They wanted to surpass the 2014 tournament and put on their greatest event ever, and in my opinion they did just that. Highly consistent from start to finish, so much unforgettable action, brilliant crowd, perfect booking. Matches were either good, very good, great or epic. No duds whatsoever, no criticisms. All the wrestlers left their mark in that ring on this night, and they should all be proud of their efforts, as should management, crew, and everyone else involved. This is why I'm proud to be a fan of Great Bear Promotions, and why wrestling fans and families all over should check them out. Awesome entertainment and awesome British wrestling, and quite possibly the best wrestling show I've ever seen live. We all loved it, and I'm really hoping this gets a DVD release. 5 stars. For details on Great Bear Promotions, their next shows and other information, please visit www.greatbearpromotions.co.uk and visit their Facebook page and other videos on the link below. Thanks for listening, everyone. DC Wood signing out. TTFN.